Thank you for joining us on the news at Housing TV Africa, coming to you live from our studio in Abuja. I am Yemina Bagudu. Our top stories this are: Tinubu meets ex-National Assembly leaders, says he came to work, not for money. Nigerian's Vice President Shettima departs Abuja for U.S. to attend the 79th United Nations General Meeting. Khan President tasked church leaders on strong moral leadership. Reps Committee Chairman urges the Institute of Safety Professionals of Nigerian Practitioners to obtain new certification. APC's Okpebolo wins with 291,667 votes, defeats PDP's Ihodalu in Edo governorship election. Council of Registered Builders of Nigeria calls for urgent building assessment in Pape following the recent earth tremors. Adamawa records 12 deaths, 308 cases from cholera outbreak. In sports, Barcelona routs Villarreal 5-1 to maintain perfect La Liga record. To begin the news, President Bola Tinubu has reassured Nigerians that his administration's primary focus is on driving real change in areas like infrastructure, food and energy security, education and economic stability rather than personal gain. Speaking during a meeting with the Forum of Former Presiding Officers of the National Assembly led by former Senate President Ken Nnamani, Tinubu made it clear that he...
New classrooms, if we are spending this money, not few people are spending it on ourselves, I believe we will get better return and happiness and development program if we invest it in our infrastructure. To some extent that we are now afraid to even borrow to invest. I need your collaboration. Look at us. Agriculture, that is the main thing. People say, oh, we are hungry. Yes, I understand that. But we cannot just take...
Economic downturn and infrastructure decay.
On our part.
Economic downturn and infrastructure decay.
On our part. We have seen what elite complacency. We have seen what elite complacency has cost nations, and have resolved.
State in flood disaster. State in flood disaster. During the session, Vice President Shettima will deliver Nigerians' national statement, participate in key meetings on the sidelines of the event, and engage in bilateral meetings. Now, the president of the Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN, Most Reverend Daniel Oko, has called on religious leaders to give strong moral leadership support, to put systems in place that bad leadership, which has characterized African leadership for decades now. The CAN president gave these admonitions at the African Lutheran Church Leadership Consultation holding in Abuja, where leaders of the Lutheran Church from Africa and across the world are gathering in a conference to share ideas on ways to build the body of Christ.
We must be truthful, we must be sincere, we must be genuine in finding ways to collaborate and to bring about the improvement of the well-being of the people of Africa. Africa is passing through a very difficult time at this time, and the church must stand up and give very strong moral leadership. And by this, I also mean that it is not just about criticizing those in authority, but finding ways to assist them in prayers and to speak to power in love.
With the theme, "We who are many are one body," The clerics reflected on the importance of leadership and how church leaders and members can leverage on the concept to promote growth and development for the people.
The church must lead by example, by uniting, but the church must also be a source of hope. We must never give up, no matter the challenges we are facing. We can together address them, not only as churches, but together with the wider society.
The message at the end would be calling the leadership at all levels. It could be the government or church leadership or community leaders, focusing on what is right.
The former secretary to the president, Boss Mustafa, and the current Senator George Akume, who represented President Bola Tinubu, also lent their voices to the conversation. Meeting resulted in the establishment of a caretaker committee
like accidents in factories and all the rest of it. Now we have some people who are selfish, who want.
His victory comes after a closely contested race in which he outperformed other candidates in. The Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) announced that Okpebholo secured a total of 291,667 votes across the 18 local government areas of the state. His nearest competitor, Asiu Ighodalo of the People's Democratic Party (PDP), received 247,655 votes, falling short of Okpebholo's tally. In third place was Olumide Akpata of the Labour Party, who managed to gather 22,763 votes. With these results, Okpebholo is now set to assume the governorship, solidifying APC's control in Edo State.
That Okpebholo mode of APC, having satisfied the requirement of the law, is hereby declared the winner and is returned elected. Signed by the returning officer, Professor Farouk Adamukuta, this day, 22nd day of September 2024. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. God bless Edo State. Thank you very much.
Advocacy groups in the country are calling on the federal government to urgently equip Nigerian youths with the right tools which is required for financial growth for future leadership roles. These were the submission of the groups while speaking to the media at the annual leadership conference with the theme Leadership Capital for Wealth Creation, held in Abuja, the nation's capital. They further expressed disappointment that a nation like Nigeria that is blessed with abundant human and natural resources is still facing a lot of challenges ranging from high level of poverty and unemployment due to over-reliance on fossil fuels.
It is the responsibility of government to invest the resources
on the stage, right?
Potential disasters and guarantee the structural soundness of buildings in the region. Now, heads of member states of the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, gathered in Lagos recently to push forward the $15 billion Lagos-Abidjan Corridor Highway Development Project. The 1,068-kilometer highway will swiftly implement measures to contain the outbreak, leveraging expertise and resources from previous experiences. The leadership of the Movement for Survival of the Izon Ethnic Nationality in the Niger Delta is calling for a better deal for the Nigerian Delta region to reflect its immense contribution to growth and development of Nigeria. The national president of the group, Ambassador Kennedy Tongo West, made the call in Abuja at the inauguration of the executive members of the Abuja chapter. He declared the group's support for President Bola Tinubu's administration, but drew the attention of the administration to the neglect the people of the Niger Delta are passing through, despite contributing the highest to the country's GDP since the discovery of oil in 1958. Ambassador West also called on all appointees from the region to sit on a round table to discuss the future of the region, beginning with the scribbling of the 1999 Constitution in order to put in place a new one that would address the plight of the region.
For Mosient, we are advocating that the 1999 Constitution should be scrapped, an entire new constitution that will favor the interest of ethnic nationalities and region so that we can be in the same path in terms of development, because the disparity and the neglect is getting more and more unbearable.
Comrade Solomon Debekeme, the chairman of the Abuja chapter, pledged to uphold all the ideas of the group as it concerns the rights of the Izons as well as that of the Niger Delta people.
As we are here, we are the ambassadors of the Jaws in the 19 northern states of northern states and FCT Abuja. We have promised, we have taken, we will not do anything that is contrary to questionable character.
More stories coming your way after the break. Stay with us.
Get credible and authentic housing news at your fingertips by downloading the Housing TV mobile app. You can also join the Africa International Housing Show live from across the globe through the Housing TV mobile app. The mobile app features live streaming and trending housing